everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Herbscapes. As you can see here, we have our little pond shelf and miniscapes shelf doing very, very well. I want to thank everybody that subscribed and liked and commented in any of the previous videos. You guys give me a lot of life, and I really appreciate the love and the support. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just give you guys a quick tour of some of the projects that we have completed so far, and then we'll get into the project that we have going for today. So I really just wanted to give you guys a quick tour of some of the original projects. You guys might recognize this one, and our gloss of spinel holding tank, and then our latest very small little tiny aquarium, which is doing very well. As you can see, the snails and other things are doing quite well. Our pond project is, obviously looking so beautiful. We've had so much great growth. I actually ended up putting some peace lilies in here, which do very, very well in an aquatic environment. And here it is. This is probably one of the most hilarious tiny aquariums that I've ever seen. I found this on Amazon. I'll try to go ahead and I'll put the link to this in the description for this video. I saw it and I was like, I gotta have it. I mean, it's an acrylic tank, so we'll start there. That this isn't like the best quality thing that you could possibly find, but I just thought it was hilarious. I know that Portland, what is it, PNW Customs, they make like a tiny aquarium, and I've seen a couple of these. I saw this on Amazon for a really good price. I think it was something like $20 or $30. So I just went ahead and I grabbed it because I thought it was so funny. It's an all-in-one aquarium. It has a built-in sump pump below here. So inside here, there's a built-in sump pump. And then the whole aquarium actually pulls off to reveal the pump and everything inside. So let's go ahead and break this thing down, and I can show you guys how it kind of works. And so inside here, if you lift this off, there's a built-in little pump there. And inside we have our biological material. I put this in here a while ago, and then we have our sponge, we have our sump pump, and then I'm gonna put a piece of filter floss in here before the end of the day just to kind of make sure it's good to go. And that's pretty much it. And so basically the water gets pumped up behind here, comes through here, and then it flows down there, and then it circles back and back around. Originally it came with a lid that had a light on it, but I hate lids on any of my aquariums. That's just my personal preference. So it comes with a light, it comes with everything. And again, I'm not sponsored or anything by this. I just saw it and I thought it'd be hilarious to maybe scape this thing out, like, way over the top and make it look really nice for you guys. So if you guys get some entertainment out of that, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna get some entertainment out of it. So let's go ahead and just, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it's so hilarious that there's like this cheap acrylic aquarium that you can get on Amazon, and it comes all kitted out with like a full sump pump and everything. I really don't even know how big this is. I think it's like 2 liters or something like that. I'll have to look up the exact specifics, but like I said, it's an acrylic tank. It's not the best quality. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw the kitchen sink at this thing, and hopefully you guys get some kicks out of how ridiculous this is. I think it's fairly ridiculous, so without further ado, let's go ahead and just kit this thing out. All right, and for those of you who don't kind of know how I like to set up my aquariums, I really like the dirted bottomed, well, not all the way dirted bottomed, but I do like having some of our aquatic pond soil in the bottom of almost all of my, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. I do like having some of this aquatic pond soil, aquatic compost, whatever you want to call it, in the bottom of the aquarium. I just think that this adds a lot of nutrients for our plants. It adds a ton of nutrients for just the growth and, you know, yada yada for everything going on within the aquarium. One more thing that we didn't really talk too much about in the previous videos is root tabs. Something I really enjoy using is the Aquarium Co-op Easy root tabs. I'm not sponsored by Aquarium Co-op at all, but they do make a really good product, and this is one of them. There you go. We only need about 4 of them. You can use anything though. The API makes some pretty good ones. I know that there's a lot of different brands, so any of them are going to do exactly the same thing. So I wouldn't get too, let's say, hung up on how these are implemented within the tank. Now that those are in there, I like to add some rocks, some light gravel in with the pond soil so that we don't get any like points of stagnation within the aquarium. And then I just take like a pair of tweezers or, you know, whatever, and I just sort of mix it all up inside of there. We're going to add our crushed lava rock. And I love this layer within the aquarium just because it does introduce a lot of real estate, as I've said before, for our beneficial bacteria, which is incredibly important. If you don't have this layer, it's not really a big deal. I just find that when you hedge your bets and you just give your tank the best possible chance for success, things tend to work out a little bit better. And this is one of them. When you have this layer in the aquarium, you basically guarantee that you're going to basically have enough room for your bacteria to grow. And for our hardscape, we are going to use this absolutely beautiful piece of petrified wood. I believe that's what it is. It's beautiful. I have it. It's a piece of stone. So we're gonna go ahead and use it today. And I'm thinking something like that. And we're just gonna kind of try to keep that as far to the back as we can. Jeez Louise, making a massive mess. I know what you're probably thinking, that looks like crap. Well, we're gonna cap it, so aesthetics is not on the top of my priority list right now. I just want to make sure that our plants get a good enough place to grow. Everything else can kind of just get capped and it'll still look alright. And then we go ahead and we cap all this over just to make sure that we get a good, and you want to start at the front only. That way none of the soil gets pushed forward. And for anybody wondering, this is some like dry, it's like a really thin gravel. It's so beautiful. I've used it in a couple of my scapes and it just always looks so gorgeous. It's like a river sand. You know, it's like pebbles. It's a really fine gravel. I absolutely love this stuff. I've used this in many of my scapes just because I just absolutely adore it. My local shop sells it. I have no idea what it's called or where you'd get it, but it's one of just my absolute favorites. And I use it as much as I can. All right, so we got all of our plants prepped. We have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 plants that are going to go in this thing today. And I figure let's go ahead and start big and then work our way back to small. So our first plant of the day is going to be some absolutely gorgeous Cryptocoryne lutea. I love Cryptocorynes. I think they have such like a rough, beautiful kind of texture that they add to the aquarium. These are going to go great in the back end of the aquarium. So we're just going to kind of, as you can see, you can kind of just pull these apart and they're different little nodules. And boom, boom, you have 2 plants, and we can plant these along the back edge of the aquarium. I think these are gonna look really, really good, so. And boom. So those are all planted. Let's move on to the Cryptocoryne parvas. We used a couple of these in our last video. See if it'll focus on it so close. There you go. And these are some of my favorite parva or Cryptocorynes. They're the smallest Cryptocorynes in the world, I believe. So let's go ahead and get these planted. And really just want like little clumps. Just like that. Go ahead and push the rocks in the soil in around them. We have one more plant, and that is our dwarf baby tears. It's a very tiny little plant. Hopefully we get a decent carpet in here. There's obviously not going to be CO2 in this tank, so let's go ahead and get this planted, and then we'll basically be done. We'll get some water in this thing, and I'll meet you guys back on the fish shelf. And boom! This tiny all-in-one now becomes a part of our miniatures shelf. This thing is so cute. I think that this thing actually turned out like a lot better than I thought it was going to for such a tiny tank, and also the acrylic looks a little bit nicer than I was originally thinking that it was going to look. Usually in my experience with acrylic, you get a little bit of a weird haziness to it because of the imperfect nature of the material, but this one actually looks fairly clear. You can really kind of get into it and see everything. Obviously, I have a light running the whole shelf, so I don't have to really worry about a small light. Although, you know, the one that comes with it, it does fit snugly to the top, so you wouldn't really be able to have that piece of stone sticking up out of there as easily. So we're just going to give this some space for, you know, let's say a couple of days, and we'll kind of see how things go. You know how we do it? Some Steachem stability or some other kind of nitrifying bacteria. I mean, there's a lot of different brands you could use. Any of them work. This is just the one that I have today. Again, not associated with Steachem, but they do make a good product. So, bottoms up, boom. That goes in there. And we wait. Let this thing soup for a couple of days, and we'll be back with an update, guys. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back 1 week later on this build, and it is absolutely beautiful. We pretty much hit conditions, like as far as putting things in here, the nitrates have kind of leveled off and our cycle is kind of established. After about a week, it's such a small tank, there's so little water, and I mean, the amount of biological filtration to tank is, you know, it's good, let's just say. I did want to address something with this tank that I didn't previously. If you guys are watching this video and you guys do go to the link in the description that I'm going to put for this video for this tank to buy it on Amazon, it is advertised as a beta tank on Amazon. I just want to quickly say that you cannot put a betta fish in this tank. All right, guys, and with that, we are 100% wrapped up with this tank. It's a very welcome and amazing addition to the fish shelf or the pond and tiny aquascape shelf that we have here in the corner of the studio. I think this tank would be great for someone just trying to get into aquascaping, or if you have a small child or something like that that has expressed interest in getting an aquatic environment. I know that everybody wants to start with fish, but I think this is a really, really great place with training wheels kind of to start actually just learning kind of the basics of how to keep an aquarium, how to test the water and yada yada without actually putting a lot of other creatures in, let's say, danger, or having a massive failure and then losing that massive investment, because again, fish tanks aren't a cheap thing to keep. And this is, I think, a really good spot to start. So anybody who liked and subscribed in the last video, big ups to you guys. I love you guys. If you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.